All right, it says we're live. Let me make sure real quick we're live on the YouTube. Are we live on the YouTube, man? Make sure real quick we're live on the YouTube. Cool, let's get into it, man. Welcome back here again. Another USFL against the owner's box today. Got my partner in crime with me, a good friend of mine. We've been go back since the PS3 days, NBL League. He inspired this show when he had his own show, Coach's Corner. I'd like to welcome everybody, the Giants owner, good friend of mine, Tyrific.
Yo,
welcome, brother.
Thank you, good sir. Appreciate it. You know, yesterday after watching that show, I was gonna have to hop on here with you and set the record straight. You know,
definitely, man. You know, Will was let's just get right into it. Will said, you know, he just came back, but he's gonna win the NFC East, and then he's only allowing you to win one game in a matchup. So you want to touch on that? I need you to reply on that.
You know what? The NFC East, I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. Before you can even think about a Super Bowl or anything like that, you need to win your division first and foremost, and it guarantees a playoff spot, as opposed to taking the chance on the wild card. But the NFC East is the battle. I'm trying to win the war. It's irrelevant to me whether or not he wins or I wins. As long as I'm in the playoffs, I have the same opportunity he has. That being said, you know what? I don't expect WAP to say nothing different. What is he supposed to say? Hey, I'm gonna come in here and be the doormat. Hey, I'm gonna lose. When he left, we was in the division and he was on a good run. He's pretty confident. I know he's coming off the Super Bowl in his other league, so I don't expect him to say nothing different. It's gonna be hard for it. For sure, it's gonna be hard for it. It can go either way. I'm keeping it real. I can talk a bunch of smack. I'm keeping it real. Now, what I will say is there ain't no way on God's green earth that he's going to hold me to beating him one time for his tenure or duration in the league. That means if he played 3 or 4 seasons, he's going to go 7-1 against me. And that's just not happening. That's a little extravagant on his end. That's a little ambitious. You know, I get it though. He should feel confident like that. But that's how I feel on that.
Yeah. I mean, that's a bold prediction. You know, any other, you play what, twice a year or whatever. Yeah, that's tough to say that you only beat him once. And he's saying, like, if you do that, it only be this week. And it's funny because everybody picked you in the poll to win this week. Game of the week, everybody picked you like 11-1 or something like that. So
that feels good, but some of that might be more due to people not knowing WAP or remembering him. We got a lot of new owners, so I mean that's fun to see. It's fun to know that people have faith in my skills. That being said, we still got to play the game. So while that looks good, I mean, it means nothing when we kick off tomorrow. So yeah. I keep it in perspective.
Yeah. And this is a reminder too, since all the owners, man. I think the league advances tomorrow, so please get your rosters down to 53.
Yes, sir.
You lose them players, you can't go crying like, oh, I didn't mean to cut so and so and this and that. You know, once they're in a free agent pool, it's open season. So
I was about to say the computer will, when we advance, automatically trim your roster down. So like Gates said, unless you want to lose players, you'd rather be the one deciding who gets lost than the computer.
Yeah, definitely. Also want to welcome back to owner. He was the Bears owner, I think, last year, but he's now the Jacksonville Jags owner. He's actually Boone's brother.
That's right. The kid.
Yeah. The kid. He actually hit me up yesterday after the show and was like, "Thanks for the props. He's going to dominate the AFC." So, of course, I tried to get him on here, but nobody wants to jump on camera and say them things. They only want to talk on the chat. So.
Hey, that is a little bit of a game changer in the AFC. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I locked horns with him a few different times last year, and he basically plays his brother's style of ball. He ain't gonna do nothing crazy or extravagant on offense. He's gonna keep it simple, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. But it is hard to stop his run game. He plays a really solid defensive style of game, a real sound cover too, makes good adjustments. You ain't gonna put up a lot of points on him. He's not gonna score a lot of points, but he doesn't need to because he's gonna lock you up. And he's just going to ground you down. So that's definitely a game changer in the AFC.
Yeah, I agree, man. He's going to be some definitely good competition. With him coming back, Wild coming back, it'll be interesting to see what the new owners do, like the Eagles. What the Colts new owner do, like I said yesterday, he must have like $100 million. I mean, he got like so many deals done, so many new players. It's impressive.
So now Colts. last season, and here's what I can tell you about his gameplay. I won by like 2 or 3 scores, but it wasn't a blowout though, if that makes sense. The scores came later, kind of during garbage time. He stuck with me most of the game. He had a few bad breaks go against him. He's got kind of a wide open offense. Defense is sound. Like if he did spend that type of money and add those type of players already to his team with the way he plays, like he probably he is positioned to make some noise.
Okay, yeah, we'll see, man. That we have NFC up 2-0, so they gotta do something. we brought
shout out to Bill Lynn Steelers who told me not to brag. It ain't bragging if it's the truth, man. It's the juice is flowing. I'm just saying though, we all 2-0, but
we are 2-0. So whatever they need to do on that side of the league, good luck, because we coming to play on our side of the league. Who do you think? I want to know your opinion on yesterday we talked about NFC Championship game and the AFC Championship game. Who are your predictions? The season didn't start, but let's just see who your thoughts are, and then we can address it later on in the year and see who predictions are right. So
that is a real good one. Because before I get into that, my feeling on the league, period, this league, I've been in the league now for a few years. The league is top heavy on both sides. There's probably about 12 teams, I think, every year that have a legitimate shot if things go their way to make it to the bowl game. I don't think there's a big divide between the great teams in the league,
right,
and the all right teams, and then there's a drop off of kind of your teams that get some hard times and kind of in that rut. So that being said, it's always real tough to pick these because there's a bunch of teams on either side. The NFC, I mean, all my smack talk aside, because I try to keep it biased, when I'm in this mode, I got to look at you and say, you know what, you're the defending champ. I have to look at you and definitely look at you as a favorite to repeat. I got to look at Boone. Boone's been consistent since last Madden. I was surprised to see Pye knock him off, but then again, Pye's not a slouch at all. So I wasn't surprised in that regard. It's just Boone's been pretty solid. So definitely, I would say you're a favorite. I would say Boone's probably got some motivation after falling short to Pye. Pye is always right there. And I think me and Wop are going to be right there when it's all said and done. Something Wop said yesterday, I agree with me, and I've said that's been my Achilles heel for a long time. From a talent standpoint and gameplay standpoint, I could play with anybody in the league. I haven't played anybody that I feel like I can't beat that person. They're just that much better than me. My problem is, like Wop said, from time to time, I tend to choke in big moments or not play consistent. And the people I see in this league that are successful, like you, like Boone, like Cletus, like Adam, the Chiefs, you guys consistently, more times than not, pardon me, I'm getting a little cold, can play your game consistently. So I definitely put me and Wop in that mix. That's kind of how I see the NFC shaking out.
Now, what about the AFC?
I'll start with Cletus. A lot of people hate on Cletus. A lot of people talk smack about Cletus and, rag him. But at the end of the day, Cletus is a student of this game. He studies this shit. He studies your game tape. He scours free agency. When we're at work, this guy's stealing people off our practice squad, trying to figure out how to get that edge. And that's Cletus in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Real smart guy. Won't play, real sloppy, runs a balanced offense, always has a good defense. Cletus is always going to be around. I don't care if it's Madden 2025. Cletus is going to figure out a way to be around at the end. I like Chief, man.
When you say Cletus, you see him just going straight to the bowl. Like, it doesn't matter who he faces in that game. Because I was thinking that maybe the Pats gave him a run because, he was just a couple of plays off last season in the AFC game. He played a flawless game up until he met with Cletus.
But don't get me wrong. I didn't say Cletus is necessarily going to – I'm talking about, like, the people who I see being there, like with a shot. Yeah. I started with Cletus. You got to give Strong credit. Like, a lot of people might dismiss Strong or think it was a fluke or beginner's luck after the first season. Strong's put together 2 of the best seasons back-to-back, so it's not a fluke. My only concern with Strong is I got 2 concerns. One, I know he's having some cap issues, and he's gutted that team. So I have no idea what that team personnel-wise is going to look like because he just wholesale gutted that team. At the same time, he must have a good scheme to win the amount of games he's been winning. So that's one concern. Secondly, them divisional games like him and Cletus, it's the same thing with me and Bob. It's gonna go back and forth. Like you can't keep playing somebody and seeing their style of gameplay and not adjust to it. So Strong is gonna be around. I know Chiefs is gonna be around. Adam's always right there knocking on the door. He's always knocking on the door. Sometimes he kicks it in and he's in that Super Bowl, and sometimes he gets knocked out. His brother, Wild Boar, Raiders is going to be around. Raiders
has a good record, but what does he do normally in the playoff? Like he has a good team. Roster-wise, he has a good team, but he never goes as deep as his brother. Why is that? Does his brother knock him off, or is it usually like a matchup thing for him?
I think it's a matchup thing because when he does get knocked off, it's usually his brothers who's usually Cletus. It's people who he's seen for years and years that know what he likes to do. Raiders runs a certain formula. Raiders is always going to have a top 5 defense every season. I don't care. Like that dude locks up on D, and he prefers to pound the ball out. If he's not able to pound the ball out, you definitely got to watch out for them big strikes to Cooper. I know last Madden, he was murdered with them long shots to Cooper. I think the one thing that Raiders could use is a mid-passing game. And I think he finds like a mid-range passing game to complement his run game, that defense, and Cooper deep. He's going to be hell to pay. I just think the missing piece for him is that intermediate passing game when the run game's not working and people are keying on Cooper. I think that's the problem. And then I think in the playoffs, he's always ran into either Cletus or Adam, and I think both of them know him very well and how to play him. But once he figures out that missing piece with that intermediate passing game, forget it. Bill's going to be around. You know, Bill Lynn, the Steelers, they don't never have that massively impressive record. Like he's not going to go 13-3. Bill's always going to be around that 8-8, 9-7, 10-6 record. But Bill is a sleeper. Bill plays sound ass defense.
Yeah, see, that's the thing with him. Like because I'm always rooting for him. But to me, he doesn't have an identity on offense yet. You know, it's like, he, like, for example, this offseason he just drafted a good young quarterback. But yet you still have Ben, who still has good stats. So it's like, do you try to win now or do you try to build? With his roster, he has to try to win now, but he's still drafting, moving off season wise, like he's trying to build. And then when he on the field, is he running or is he passing? Does he run his offense through Bell, or does he try to throw up 30 passes with Big Ben? Consistently, it's like, I watch his switch. He might play a certain opponent this way, and he plays a certain opponent this way. It's never like his own direct. Like, this is my game plan. I don't care who I'm playing. I don't get that from him. And that's why you always get that 50-50, 9-7, or like he's never dominated even his division, but he has a team to do that.
That's a good point. And I think sometimes something that affects me affects him, and I think sometimes that turnover bug hits him at the wrong place at the wrong time, because you're right. He plays a lot of close games. You're not going to see a lot of, like, he's not going to blow anybody out, but he's not necessarily going to get blown out. So when you're playing a lot of close games like that and you have that turnover at the wrong time, a lot of times that can be all it takes. That's some good points, Gates, because I played Bill quite a few times, and I have noticed that his defense is always good. Like, you better pack a lunch against that D, but on offense, it's kind of a mixed bag of what you're going to get.
Yeah, and I think that's what separates players like myself, you, people that we're naming. It doesn't matter who we play, what roster we face. This is our game plan. We're sticking to it. We're sticking to it. You can shut down the run. Like, I play Boone. I can shut down the run 30 times. But he still somehow run. He still run the ball. He'll still run. They'd be like 3rd and 5. He just runs out of a counter run. You know what I'm saying?
Yesterday, I had to laugh at, because Boone will run on 3rd and 30.
Yeah, 3rd and 30. He gonna run. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Yeah, and then get to something. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? It's 3rd and 30. I know you're not going to try to run this counter. And sure enough, he does that. You know what I'm saying? Cletus be down 3rd and 15, and it's like he's gonna do some bootleg pass, and the shit ain't worked all game, but he's still gonna do it.
Yeah,
like,
man.
Yeah,
I think in the AFC too, definitely Boone's brother used to be the kid last Madden.
Yeah. If
he's able to play his games consistently, I think he's definitely gonna make some noise, especially because nobody's checking for him. A lot of people might not be familiar with what he likes to do. He's basically Boone Jr. He plays that same type of game. He's not going to kill himself. He's going to pound that ball. He's committed to the run. He's going to play a solid defense. Likes a lot of that cover two, which if you don't know how to crack a cover two, it's no joke. He's good at stopping the run. He's not going to make any mistakes. It's going to hurt himself. So he's going to be around. After that, I think it's interesting because there's a spot open, and I don't know who's going to step in that void and fill it. We tried to get Chargers owner Franco Modric on today. He's been non-responsive. I know he made the bold proclamation yesterday that spot's got his name on it. He's always been close, but there's a few people that I think Doc Watchers sooner or later is going to bust through. Doc, low-key, like you said yesterday, is one of the grand veterans of this league. He was a veteran in our NBL league. He plays sound. He always has a good defense. He likes to run the ball.
Offense. He suffers from the same thing Bill suffers. Who are you on offense?
Yeah, because he'll hit you with a 5-wide one play. Then he'll try to run the ball the next play. Then he'll come push the next play. You kind of don't know what you're going to get. If he can get that offensive piece figured out, because Doc always has a top defense every Madden, every season. It doesn't.
Doc's kryptonite is himself, and he's a good friend of mine, so I'm comfortable with saying he cripples himself on offense because he gets too conservative. Even when, like you said, even when he's in a 5-wide set, he doesn't take that shot down the field. It's still safe underneath throws, dink and dunk style offense.
That's a good point.
Late in the third and fourth quarter, when guys start to adjust, he doesn't then go over the top. He still considers, he's still playing dink and dunk. So that's tough, But like I said, I agree. If he can figure that out, he can make a run if he just figures out the offense. Him, Bill, I feel the same way with. I don't know why they should be winning. They should be winning.
You know what? They should, and sooner or later they will. I know my boy ain't gonna like me to hear me say this. He said I was gonna talk smack with him. And I just call it the way I see it. Texans, I know you made the playoffs last season, but you got fat on about 6 or 7 computer wins. I don't see that happening this season. And you got Boone's brother in your division. And you got
I play him like week 2 or week 3. I don't know nothing about this guy.
Yeah, I think. Well, you know what? The ambition's there. The hunger's there. I think he's making small strides. I don't think he puts in enough time in the lab. He doesn't practice enough. He's one of those guys that he won't play, and he enjoys his life outside of the game and work, and I don't blame him. But then he thinks he's gonna hop on and play like you or Cletus and just like get that dub. And y'all are playing the game. Y'all are putting time in. Y'all are in multiple leagues. Y'all are practicing plays, man. And I've tried to tell him, like, if you're not gonna put that time in, you're gonna get what you deserve.
Yeah, I think a lot of people underestimate that. I think you taught me that early on back in the PS3 leagues. Like if you want to be good, you gotta put the time in. So I could run a play 1,000 times. You know what I'm saying, against random defense. And I until I get it right every time, so I can get it 10 out of 10 without the computer stopping me all the time. I think that goes undervalued. Guys think that they're just gonna jump on here and do whatever they want.
Yeah.
You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna allow you to do that.
You really not. That can only take you so far. I mean, that's one of the things I think this Madden, unfortunately, I haven't been able to put in nowhere near as much time as I would like, as I've done in previous Maddens. Work's been crazy. Work a lot of hours, but I still try. I don't care how late it is at night. I still try to come in here for at least an hour at night if I can and just go through my plays and my offense, run them against random. I'll try to look at who's on my friends list and see if I can get a late game in with somebody just to practice. I'll play the computer sometimes, stock Giants roster and run my plays against like the best teams like Seattle. Because a lot of times, like if you can get your stuff off against that Seattle secondary, or you play Denver and your plays work against Chris Harris with 91 zone, like more than likely you can use those plays in the league,
Yeah. Also, I'll jump online, man, and run a ranked game, and I'll sit and I'll be like, all right, I just want to master these 2 or 3 formations, and I'll run that the whole game. I don't care what the score is or whatever. I just need that. I need that unpredictability from a user. I need that user feel, So whether I win or lose, guys are hitting like, yo, you run the same 4 plays. That's cool because I'm trying to master these same 4 or 5 plays. So then when I bring it to the league, I'm already comfortable with anything somebody throws, a man blitz, a cover 2, a cover 6, a cover 9. None of it's new. None of it looks new to me.
You hit that right on the head. And I encourage people to get as many live reps as possible if you actually want to get better, because the computer plays a certain style. You can't anticipate what a human user is going to do. There's certain people, you're one of them. I'll play you, and your linebacker start out damn in the line of scrimmage, and at the end of the play, he's damn in the secondary next to the safety because you're all over the field, and the computer's not going to do that, and you can't anticipate that if you just play a bunch of computer games. That's why, going back to what I said about Texans, you can't beat the computer 5 times and then feel like I made it and I arrived, because that computer has nothing to do with what a user's going to do and how a user's going to call their game and how they're going to adjust.
Yeah, and keep in mind, they run all their plays stop. You know, elite guys don't run stock plays. You know, we come out and cover 2. You know, but it might be cover 2 hard flats. You know, we might turn them hard flats into purples or half, you know, cloud flat on one side, a man up on the other side. So, you know, that's the stuff that you can't really anticipate playing against the computer.
I'm glad we touched on this topic, because one of the things I used to do on my show was a lot of times I would try to drop. I'm definitely not the best of all time and nothing like that. I ain't no pro player. I just try to inform people with things they can do to better themselves. Me and Cletus exchanged a lot of information about subtle things you can do when you're drafting, when you're putting together a team, your actual gameplay to help you improve. So this definitely is in that line. So definitely there's no substitute for hard work. I mean, even guys that might want to go and hop on YouTube and try to find plays, I mean, that's something somebody else is running. Just because it works for them doesn't mean it's going to work against you. And second thing that I tell people about YouTube plays is this: everybody runs the same stuff. Right. So the elite players are going to know when you come out of something what you're trying to do and how to take it away. So it's not about just, oh, I'm going to hop on YouTube and find a bunch of plays. It's how can you tweak things and make them your own.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that, because
true.
Because I'll look on the plays and I'll go right into practice modes, do them same setups, and I'll play defense against that.
Yep.
And I'll run it and run it and run it and run it. So when they come out in them certain formations, I'm like, oh, he's running so-and-so's play off of YouTube. I already know where you're going to throw the ball. I already know where you're going to throw.
You're telling me where you exactly. And that's why I tell people, if anything, I try to do the opposite. I try to find formations and things that's not that commonly used, or I try to find plays that look similar to what everybody's doing, but I put my own twist on it, because then everybody's going to jump on what they think is hot and common. You know, and it's funny because I've heard this debate in every single league I've been in for as long as I've been playing like competitive Madden. You know, oh, well, you're a YouTuber. Oh, well, you watch YouTube plays. And I always laugh at that. I don't think there's one single solitary person in this league that can sit here and tell me they don't look at plays. Stop the lying. Stop that bullshit. Okay? Everybody's looking at some plays from time to time. Right? Now, what you do with them plays is a different story. You can look at 1,000 YouTube plays. That doesn't mean you're going to be successful in the league.
Right.
But I just always laugh when people are like, oh, well, you're a YouTuber. You're running YouTube plays. You know what? Everybody's looking at that, and everybody's running it.
Yeah. Everybody's running. So it's nothing new. There's nothing new under the sun.
Well, think about this, right? Everybody in the league, for the most part, is a grown-ass man with a job or family, and you ain't got 7 to 8 hours to sit here. I don't.
Yeah, I don't.
7 to 8 hours and lab a bunch of stuff from scratch. Now, a lot of times I do lab stuff from scratch and make my own stuff. A lot of my offense is like stuff I do. It's authentic to me. But everybody looks from time to time at how to freshen up what you already have or add something to it, because you're going to see a play differently than the way I see it. And if you're doing something that's successful and good, I'll give you an example. Your PA crossers. I've talked to you about that play a couple of times. Yeah, you are only going to run in 4 or 5 plays, but that play might be the toughest play to stop, period. Just the way those angles break, it's too hard to stop all 3 of them angles. Somebody's going to be open. You can't man up. The separation is going to kill them. There's not necessarily a zone. When I played you and I ran that Tampa 2 twice, what I was actually trying to do, but I got quick snapped, was to take my middle linebacker and put him in a deep blue to take away Jones in the middle and then shade toward the right and take that away. Right. But he snapped me too quick and I got caught out there. And that's what happens if you can't adjust quick enough.
Yeah. Beating concepts. Like certain plays. What actually works as far as he's in cover 2 well. Football 101 says middle's open. Cover 3. Sidelines are open. If the cornerback jumps down or if he jumps back. Cover 4, that's a bend but don't break. So you can dink and dump. But then I just also figured out how I can go over the top on it. Man to man, certain things, comeback slants, certain funny route patterns, they all beat it. So I really look. That's my mentality when I approach the field every time, every snap. So when you did that, I was like, oh, man, cover
you, man.
twice. Cover I'm liking it. I don't care if you like it.
Because you had there was two concepts you kept running on me, and I couldn't really necessarily do anything about it. If I played you tight, you tried to go over the top on Julio.
Yeah.
If I played off, you kept killing me with them out routes to the left on every third down. And I'm like, damn it, I'm damned if I do and damned if I don't. And it's funny because when the game's over, if you have that Madden mind, whether you want to lose, you think about what you could have did differently. And it's funny because I sat up most of that night thinking about what I could have did differently. And a few different things came to mind. And I'm like, man, if only you had that moment. So like, that's another piece of advice I would give people. Anybody in this league you want to mention, it's not that they don't know what to do. This goes back to being consistent and choking in big moments. It's being able to not let the moment overtake you and get so excited or nervous that you're not thinking properly. You always have to have like a clear head and think in terms of adjustments, because there's everything in the league can be countered on offense and defense. It's just in that moment, somebody's going to snap under that pressure and somebody's going to execute. And that determines winning and losing, period, point blank, end of discussion.
Yeah, because I felt like I lost. I felt like, man, this game is over. And then when you missed that extra point, that's what gave me my motivation. Like I was like, oh man, it's you know. I mean, in another league, man, I probably had me up 21-0 at half. I came back and won like 45-24 or something. He was pissed, but I take it one snap at a time, man. I just grind and I stay consistent and I just run my game plan. That's the key. Run your game plan.
It really is, and I've tried to tell people this all the time, especially like in the first quarter. There's like two types of Madden players I see. Like, you can be down 14-0 in the first quarter. True story. Me and Chiefs, Adam played last season, and I was up at least 21-0 in the first quarter. A lot of people would tap out. They would throw their offense out the window. They would start chucking the ball deep and just doing craziness and getting picks, and it would just snowball. That dude just played his game. He just stayed consistent. He just stuck to his guns. And I'll be damned if this dude didn't come back. And in the last quarter, with the game about to end, hit me for the winning score. You talk about frustration, but I allowed it to happen. Obviously, he stuck to his game plan. And I tell people, you can't get caught up in the scoreboard. I get in the fourth quarter, like you got to tweak some things, or the third, depending on how much you're down. But in that first half, play your game. I don't care what the score is. Play your game. Like, I was real surprised. And I even text Candy during the game with you and him. And I told him, it was probably in the third quarter. I said, listen, man, forget winning. Forget winning. That ship has sailed. He didn't respond, so he must have been pissed. I said, forget winning, man. You cannot get skunked, bro. All NBL style. You got to put together a solid drive. Stop looking at that end zone. Just get on the board. And he just stuck to trying to get 40-something points in one play, and he got skunked, and I was very surprised.
Yeah, man, you just gotta take what a person gives you. You gotta take what your person gives you. Real quick, I looked in the chat. It's Boone's brother laughed because we called him Boone Jr. But Cletus gave me props though and said that he will take the South. So that's
I said that.
Pressure. That's nice pressure on him. So he got pressure. He has to now win the South and not prove that he's Boone Jr. So.
Hey, you know what? Okay, Boone Jr., you know what? I want to say he played his brother in the Super Bowl and beat him.
He did. He actually beat me in the NFC Championship to get there.
Well, I think he went on to beat Boone in the Super Bowl, so maybe I won't call him Boone Jr. then. But
he actually got that. Yo, real quick, what's funny is Madden 17, when I had the Cardinals, I went like to the Super Bowl 3 times, right, in a row. And he reached out to me like, yo, how's your defense? So we talked about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I would text him and we reached out and showed him some stuff, man. He took it and he ran with it. And then Boone hit me up the same way and it's like, gave him a couple tips. Now them dudes is like, problems, man. I should never gave them dudes no tips, man. I should have never gave them dudes no tips.
A lot of people reach out to me for tips, and I always think of that. I always say, man, I'll probably go see this son of a gun down the road. But just the way I am, man. Like I try to, especially because I'm cool with a lot of the people in the league, and you, Cletus, there's a lot of people I talk to outside the league. So if somebody asks me for what they can do to improve, I tell them the best of my ability, man, and it just is what it is. But I give a lot of people tips, but with those two, the Boone brothers in particular, they stick to the script. That's why I think they were real successful. Like they took that and ran with it. Like a lot of times I'll give somebody a tip and they won't use it. They'll use it sometimes to say it works, but then they won't use it consistently. And I'm like, you know what? It is what it is. But those two are always a handful.
Yeah. So answer this too. So let's talk about your gameplay, your style of gameplay, because you know, it's changed over these last couple of matches. You know, when I first jumped into the league way back, you were blitz heavy, man. You were like A gap, B gaps. You were like the Buddy Ryan of the thing, man. Like you and stuff everywhere. But now your game changed. My style is kind of like Mayor Wop style. We both kind of run a hybrid defense. Where we got, like, for example, I can have big meaty guys on the defense lineman, but I got cover 2 linebackers. Like all my linebackers are cover 2. You know, what is your style of gameplay? How do you determine, like, blitz more, coverage more? You know, just touch on that for a little bit.
You're right. We have talked about this. I tell people I still always have a top 10 defense. It's not as flashy as used to be because I don't have all of the sacks and blitzes, but I feel the game's evolved. A lot of these patches in Maddens, they've been created with the effect of neutralizing the blitz. So I feel like blitzes aren't as effective as they used to be. Believe it or not, some of the most effective blitzes I see in this Madden are stock blitzes. Before, I used to crash the line and stunt the line and blitz this linebacker and bluff blitz this linebacker, and you be able to get in those A gaps and B gaps. And I see that these stock blitzes, are just as effective. The only thing you got to understand when you're blitzing somebody is there's a hole somewhere in your defense. So my thing is this: playing that blitz heavy style is feast or famine. If you're playing somebody that can't adjust, they're not very good blocking, they can't recognize and pick up blitzes, you can be successful. But when you play like the elite players in the league, like they see your blitz coming a mile away, they're gonna roll out. They're gonna ID the mic now. That's brand new. Yeah. And I don't like it, by the way, but now you can ID the mic. So you have to be more coverage oriented. How I determine when I'm gonna blitz and what type of defense I'm gonna play is a lot of times based off down and distance or feel for the game. Like, I don't know about you, but there's certain times in the game where I can feel somebody's going to pass, or I feel like somebody thinks something's open, or I feel that guard is down and I feel they're not expecting a blitz, and that's when I'm going to send it. Well, obviously, if I feel like you're in a 2nd and 15, that's a good time for me to tee up the boys. You know, I just look at down and distance. I look at the feel of the game, and I look at the flow of the game and how it's going. And I always try to remember that if I'm going to blitz somebody, I got to try to neutralize those quick undercover hot reads. And that's how I do it. I still kind of do some things the same. Like, I watch a lot of other people play, and people jump back and forth between 5 and 6 and 7 different formations. Nickel 3-3-5, dime 2-3-6, big dime, nickel 3-3-5 odd, 3-4, then in the 4-3. I don't do all of that. I try to stick to 1 or 2 formations, but master all of the plays in that formation. Like, mostly anybody that plays me, I'm gonna run heavy 3-4 odd most of the game. Yeah. But I have plays for every situation. I have blitzes out of it. I've covered 2 shells out of it. I've covered 3. I've covered 4. I have run stoppers. From time to time, I might hop into a different subset, but for the most part, I'm going to stick to 1 or 2 formations, master that, and that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I agree. It's funny because I think of it as, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. So for me, I look at the person's stats. Like, say, for example, let's just say Boone, because he was like my toughest opponent in the NFC. Been all year, he's been like on my heels. I'll look at his team stats, and I'll look and see like how many carries is Rawls getting. You know, is he getting more carries? You know, if he has like 200 carries, but Russell Wilson only has 100 throw attempts, it's like, oh, he's run heavy. He's so run heavy. So my goal is like 8 in the box all the time. Let's see if Russell can win him the game. Can Russell win him the game? Who was the receivers? I mean, they're not fast they're just as fast as my cornerback. Can he make them throws? Can he look at this cover 4, but it's not really a cover 4 just because the cornerbacks are lined up back there. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect
Yeah,
sense because I think honestly a lot of people don't do that, and I think that's why you have an edge. Like there are a lot of adjustments I make before a game, and that's one of them. You're right. I like to look at stats. Another thing I like to do is match up depth chart. Even though I don't play a ton of man, I still think certain matchups are important on my depth chart. So when I play anybody, like when I play WAP, inevitably, I'm going to look at his depth chart. I'm going to look at key positions. I'm going to look at what his left end and right end speed and block shit is. Do I need to swap out my tackles? Right? I'm going to look at his linebackers. Okay, what's their speed? That's going to tell me how much ground they can cover and what types of passes I need to make in that intermediate area. I'm going to look at my corners. Obviously, if I'm playing Julio Jones and he's 94 speed and my fastest corner is 89 speed, even though people thinks it might not make a difference because I might be in zone, so it's not a difference. It is a difference because if I want to run a blitz and I need to bring my dudes up to the line, I need a dude that can get back with them. So I think you're 100% right in terms of a little bit of study before the game as opposed to just jumping into a game. I think is good. I think another thing that's underrated is coaching adjustments. I don't see a lot of people make them, but I was talking with Cletus, and it's funny. We was having a debate, a discussion about that, and I tell him that for my cornerbacks, I always play adjustments to swap the ball. I forget what game he was playing, but somebody kept, he was playing Candy, and Devontae Adams kept going over the top of his head, aggressive catching him. And I was telling him that when I played people that like to go to that aggressive catch mode, I always put that coaching adjustment to swat the ball. And my guys always seem to swat the ball. If I feel I'm in that good a position to make a pick, I'll click on myself and try to triangle it and take it. But if I'm not able to adjust, the computer's able to compensate and swap the ball. And I'd rather do that than and live to fight another day. And I see that to be helpful. So them coaching adjustments, those are underrated. I think that
I always do speed on my quarterbacks. Cornerback matchup by speed.
Yeah.
I don't care what the overall is. I don't care about the height and all that. Speed. I need them to run.
I think that works for you, guys. Gates, how does that work for you? Using that speed adjustment.
I don't worry about. I'm fine with leaving them on the island because once they throw the ball, I click on and make the play. So it's user versus user. You know, a lot of guys throw the ball and they let the computer do it. As soon as you throw it, I'm clicking on it. I'm gonna try to out jump you. I think like in my mindset, I become the receiver. You know, you can actually throw me the ball as you're throwing it to yourself.
So let me ask you this. What advice would you give to folks about how they can improve their user? You've talked about this. I've talked about this. And I will say it's the biggest difference between the elite players and the good players, and that's active user. A lot of people just click on a guy. I see a lot of people user the D lineman, which personally myself, I think that's trash. I think you can do it in spots, but I would never user a D lineman. That's just me. But what advice or tips would you give to somebody on how they can get better with their user?
Your mind, Tyler, man, I've been playing Madden way back, man, like the first Madden. And I've always just clicked, well, let's say go into practice and on offense throw routes, whatever routes, click on them and make the catch. Always make the catch. And if you can, once you be able to do that and catch as the receiver, it's easy to transfer that into the catch as a defensive player. This year you just can't run around with triangle and ball hawk, which I love. On defense, I think being able to comfortably crab holding L2 plays a big part because a lot of times a person can throw the ball and the defensive player's hips and stuff turn in the mechanics, and when you do that, it slows down their speed and their acceleration, and it kind of puts you out of position. So being able to crab on defense with a linebacker or a safety and staying and being disciplined. Like, say, for example, if I play a cover 2 and you run up verticals, I can't instantly, when you hike the ball, I can't instantly run to the slot because the tight end's open. You know, when he does that little funny middle, that little funny post route, I have to stay disciplined. And I have to trust the guys that I drafted back behind me. So when you hike the ball in a whole L2 and I start crabbing, and I allow you to think that you have that window, once you throw it, I just let go of the crab and I just attack it and I'm just trying to make the catch because I'm so used to doing it as the receiver.
And what he's talking about with crabbing is strafing. And that's if you hold L2 now, your guy gets this hoppy side-to-side motion where he's kind of just surveying what's going on. But just like Gates said, the catch-22 with that, obviously your guy's not at full speed or acceleration. So once you've committed to who you think the ball's going to, who you want to cover, you definitely want to come off that L2 to get your guy running step to step.
Yeah, once you committed, because you notice a guy can throw the ball, you go to try to loop around, and they do this funny slow behind turn because you're out of position. So yeah, and it's funny because Boone actually is real good at using her now. I mean,
yes, he is.
He always uses Bobby Wagner. So I'm like, you don't get no credit for using Bobby Wagner. Use the other guy. Don't use Bobby Wagner. Use the other guy.
Yeah, man. There's quite a few people in the league that's got some user. I'll tell you another person who jumps to mind with user is Paya. You know, you throw the ball, and it's funny because everybody that has that real good user does the same thing. I watch them. They'll stay in the box when the ball snaps for like 2 seconds. They'll just stand still completely 100%. And once they've determined where the routes are breaking and where they think you're going to throw, all of a sudden they take off. And like you said, they've got like a 90-speed linebacker that can cover that ground. And you think your guy's open and you start that throwing motion. Next thing you know, you see that circle racing back. You're like, shit.
Yeah. And that's why, to me, me and you, we were talking about overall versus ratings. I'm comfortable drafting 89 speed linebacker with 50 awareness, because once I click on him, his awareness is 100. His play recognition is 100 because I'm the one controlling him. So if anything, that's on me. Everything else is, I need the other stuff to mean something. Like the tackle needs to be something. His zone needs to be something. But the awareness and play rec, it's 100. My mindset is like, it's 99 because I'm clicking on him. I'm the one controlling him.
I agree with that 100%. For me, I always look to, when I'm picking up free agents and things of that nature, I'm looking at guys that fit what I do. I don't really care what their numbers are. If their numbers are good for what I want them to do, I don't care what their overall is. They could be a 40 overall for all I care, as long as they can fit what I need them to do. Perfect example, I see that with defensive ends all the time. I'll take defensive ends that have high speed and have high block shed. Their overalls are low, but they give me a ton of sacks. So it just depends on what you're looking for. It's interesting talking to a bunch of other guys in the league. Everybody builds teams differently. Everybody's looking for different things in free agents. I guess it depends on what works for you. That's why, going back to what I said about Strawn, just because he gutted his team, I don't eliminate him because of that. I'm curious to see how his team's going to gel and come together this year. But I believe in scheme over everything.
Yeah, me too.
So it really doesn't matter the name. Huh?
It's funny that you say that because yesterday me and Wap, we looked at the Jets, because Cletus, he wheels and deals, and we looked at his team, and I'm looking at the guys he got, and I'm like, yo, he's winning with these guys, like he's winning.
Yes.
I understand it because I know they fit his style of play, because I'm like, well, how is he taking this? Like his quarterback is like some basic numbers. He has some like real basic numbers. He's not no superstar, but he's winning. But his defensive line is amazing. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like, yo, how is it's impressive to see that. It's impressive to see that. Like even his squad, like you don't have Eli Manning this year. I mean, he's sitting up on the free agency list. I wouldn't pick him up, but how much of a bigger impact does that have on you? I knew for me, like I lost Matt Ryan, but I needed a quarterback. Like without no quarterback, I can have 99 people running around. Need a quarterback.
Well, I've known the Giants now for a minute, so I know no matter what happens, Eli's going to have a high salary, and I also know that his days may be numbered. So immediately, even going back to the first season of Madden, I'm playing with Davis Webb in practice. I'm playing with Davis Webb. I'm seeing what throws he can make, and I'm real comfortable with him. And I played all my preseason games so far this preseason, and I'm real happy. As a matter of fact, I think he's playing maybe even slightly better than Manning. He's got a stronger throw arm. I haven't seen him miss on too many throws. And the other thing, going back to what I said about scheme over everything, you have to understand who you are and know what you have. Like, if you want to be a wide open pass offense, like you have to build your team that way. I'm not looking to try to necessarily put up 5 touchdowns a game with Webb. I'm not looking to go deep every play. I can do everything with him, but I'm kind of going to take it easy with him and play to his strengths as opposed to trying to force my style of game on him and making him do things he's not capable of doing.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because if he only has like a 70 deep ball, you can't be throwing 30-yard passes every time.
Exactly.
Yeah, that doesn't benefit you. You want to jump on real quick? Want to look in the PS4 and give me your week one predictions?
All right, let's see what we got here. So,
Okay. Jump on, get everybody else on.
all right, give me a sec here. All right.
So, Ravens and Bills. How do you feel about CPU versus user games? Should they be automatic wins, man? Should they be forced
You
wins?
know what? We are in discussions on the commission side about that. We understand that people aren't exactly thrilled to play the computer. Um, we are trying to deal with that problem. The first thing is everybody should know by now, Pi has been promoted to the head of recruiting, and I think he's done a fantastic job. He's always been a real strong recruiter, but I think he's taken some run with it. And I don't think we have a lot of vacancies in the league. So off the rip, that should solve some of the CPU problems. Secondly, we are looking at maybe some forced win scenarios against computer players. So there will be something coming out in the chat about that shortly to basically neutralize the computer problem.
All right, cool. Let's jump right into the Moondog and the Bears. I've actually picked Moondog for this one.
I'm gonna pick him too. I don't know anything about this Bears owner, but I'll tell you, I'm the most surprised that Cowboys and Moondog in the preseason. I think he's taken out some big names. I know Cletus was just running backups, but I don't care if you beat Cletus and Cletus is playing with stick figures. Like, that's impressive to me. So
yeah,
he's looked real good in the preseason. When I played him, because he's in my division, they were always tough games. I cracked them open and got some distance later on in the game, but it always started out strong. I think he's another one that he's finding an identity in offense, and I think he's going to surprise some people. So I'm going Cowboys.
Cool. That's the same thing I picked. Well, again, Browns and CPU. Browns.
Yeah.
And what do you feel about this Vikings and Lions?
Don't know either owner, and I think the Vikings quit. I seen yesterday he left the group chat, but he didn't quit the PlayStation. So I don't even know if he's an active owner. If he is an active owner, I've never seen him play. Don't know anything about him. I've played Lions. I'm gonna go with Lions on that one.
Yeah, I think we picked the same exact reason we picked, because I didn't know anything about the Vikings. Here we go. Give me Trickster versus Pats. Now, hopefully, Trickster was watching this and takes what we say with a grain of salt, but actually hears some advice in it. And, applies that to this game. This would be a good test for him. What you got? I'm going Pats.
I'm going Pats too. Tricks is my guy, but you know what? Pats has been consistent and he's been good both seasons. I don't see a reason for him to backslide now. I'm going with Pats.
Cool. Cletus and the Eagles owner.
Jets. I've seen the Eagles play one time toward the end of last season. He's coming off a long Madden sabbatical. He's probably trying to find himself and figure out who he is and what he wants to do with that team. Jets are rolling. I'm going with the Jets.
Yeah, and this is what, year 3? Usually year 3, Cletus starts to make his Super Bowl run. So, sacrifices the first 2 years. So yeah, I'm gonna go Jets. Panthers in Jacksonville.
Wow. Yeah. You know what? Panthers, Ronnie is somebody a lot of people don't know about. He plays a really solid game. He's not going to make a lot of mistakes. He loves some McCaffrey. He will scramble with Newton to keep you honest. You said something yesterday I agree with. Need some receivers. He's going to play a solid game. This is a tough one because I don't know if Jacksonville has been playing prior to coming back to the league. So I don't know if he's rusty or what his status is. And Ronnie's been playing good. He was on the verge of a playoff spot last season.
I'm going to go Jacksonville because I don't really know nobody in my division winning. Nothing personal. I want everybody.
You know what? I'm going to go
Jacksonville.
I'm going to go Carolina, even though it's hard for me to pick against Jacksonville because I know how good that guy is. I just don't know if he's been playing prior to now, so I don't know if he's got some rust he's got to shake off. So I'm going to go with Carolina.
Cool. Now, I know you're going to speak on this because you actually called me. It's funny. You actually called my phone yesterday. Like I said, we talked about a lot of different things, and you said that I gave Champ a lot of credit that he shouldn't have gotten. So speak on that and then give me a predictions if on this game.
Champ's a good dude. Champ's been in this league a long time. The reason why I said Champ was getting a lot of credit about challenging for a playoff spot, Champ doesn't play no games. I can honestly say probably in 2 seasons, Champs might have played 3 games. I know he's really active in his other franchise. I know he enjoys his NBA 2K and his Call of Duty, but until I see Champ put in work in the USFL, I can't give him those types of props because I don't think he's going to play. I'm going with the Saints.
Okay. And then if Champ doesn't respond or anything, should that be a forced win for the Saints or just a sim?
That's a good question. That's probably something I need to take up with the commissioners because Champ's been inactive for a long time here. And I know he doesn't want to not be in the league because whenever it's brought to me, oh, no, I'll start playing my games. But then he just doesn't make the time for it. I like Champ. Champ's always dangerous on offense, but until Champ plays any games, I'm giving that game to the Saints. The Saints is going to play.
Cool. Colts and the Broncos. I don't know anything about the Colts. I don't know anything about Mac Dub. Nothing personal. I'm always focused on the NFC side of the ball. I'll worry about the AFC when I get to the playoffs.
I'm going to give that game to Doc. I have seen Colts play. I think Colts has potential, but I know that type of defense that Doc's going to bring to the table. If Doc can score points, Doc's going to be a real threat, but I think Doc's going to be able to lock him up and do enough on offense to win this game.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I agree. I think Doc has a potential to win this game and probably should. Again, is he going to open up his playbook? Doc, if you're listening, open up your playbook, man. That's the only thing that's stopping you from being in the playoffs. Open up your playbook. The Titans and the Chargers. Chargers is a good friend of yours, right?
He is, and I don't know anything about the Titans at all. New owner, never seen him play, so I'm going to go with the Chargers. At least I know what he's going to do and what he's going to bring to the table. Chargers is another guy that if Chargers snuck into the playoffs this season, it's not going to surprise me. The last 3 or 4 seasons, that guy's been hovering around 500 and a win away from a playoff spot. His problem is the same as Texans. He doesn't put in enough time on the game. He's one of those guys that, hey, I'm going to enjoy myself and I'm going to hop on the game and make it do what it do. And he's coming along. His defense is okay to good. He has a diverse offense. We'll take some deep shots. We'll run the ball. If he can just put it together and put some more time in, I think he can finally get that last spot. I'm going to go with him for this one.
Yeah, I agree. And just I'm kind of biased when it comes to new owners. It's like proving ground. You got to prove yourself. You got to beat some heads, and then you become on the radar. Then we start taking you a little serious. So I'm gonna go with Chargers myself as well. You got Bucks and Rams. So you got
that's gonna be a good one. I know it's hard to schedule with Sana. Everybody that's trying to schedule with Sana, he doesn't respond in the chat. But if you text him, he always responds. He has his name to text him for games for a reason. I know a lot of people say it's hard to schedule with him. Every time I've texted that guy, he texts me right back. That's going to be a tough game. Sana's another one of those sleepers in the NFC. Sana's been around for a while, and Sana's always there when it's said and done. And I know Tampa's right there, too. That's going to be a really interesting game. I'm going to go ahead and goodness. What's your prediction on this one? I need a minute.
I hate to say it, but I want the Rams to win because the Bucks are my division. But to be honest with you, I think I'm going with the Bucks. I think that game is really run heavy, and yes. I think that the Bucks is more confident in his scheme and how he runs. How his offense. And he made the playoffs last year, so it's hard not to say for him to win. I think whoever wins though is the person who runs the ball better.
You know what? I'm gonna go with Bucks too, just because I played Bucks, and Bucks offense is so safe. Bucks is another one of those guys. He's gonna run 4 plays the whole game. He's gonna run out of that jumbo package most of the game. He's gonna run a lot of outs and a lot of crossing routes, but he doesn't make any mistakes. He has those plays dialed in. His defense is good. It's gonna be tough, but I'm gonna go with Bucks on this one too.
Yeah, me too. Bengals and 49ers. Who you got?
I don't know anything. Well, I know about Crack, but Crack's another one that doesn't play that often. I'm going to go with Bengals. I haven't seen him play that often, but
Bengals came in last year.
Reps.
Yeah, Bengals came in last year. He actually works with the Saints owner. They're good buddies, and I actually spoke. Like I said, I spoke to him on the phone. He was like, "Man, I'm gonna jump in this league. I'm gonna dominate." Blah 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 blah. And he got humbled quick. His first 3 games I think were losses. I reached out to him, "How's the league?" And he started laughing like, "Yeah, I got to take it more serious." he actually started winning some games. So I actually think I've seen him play. I think the Bill the Steelers, and he beat him. So I like how he beat him. So I'm gonna go with Bengals. I'm confident in him winning that.
You know what?
And then game of the week.
No, I was gonna say me too. I think Bengals will get him.
Yeah. Now let's talk the talk. Will, I tried to get him on. For those who watch, I tried to get him on. I think he's a little busy right now. He's actually been texting my phone. He made his prediction. He said itself as he's supposed to. And if not, this is the game. This is the game that you will win, and not after that.
I do think I'll win this game. I know Wop's active. I know he's been playing another league, but I think the element of surprise, he doesn't know what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna do it. So the game's gonna be on an even keel. I think it's gonna be a very tight game. Maybe in the 21-17 range or lower. I think I'm gonna nip him this game. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout or anything crazy at all. I don't see that happening, but I think I've been on a good roll. I think I got a lot of pieces dialed in. I think I've been putting in some good time. I think I'm gonna get them.
Okay. I mean, if you play, what tie's gonna show up? Is the tie that played me in the playoffs gonna show up, or if that guy shows up, then I'm going with you.
Yeah, and I feel like that guy's ready to play.
Then I'm actually picking you with that. I know he said he's going. I know Whopper said he's running a new playbook, but then it's his first game with this team, so he doesn't really know what they can do. So I'm going with you just because you're comfortable. You've been running with this team already. So brothers,
goodness, those two, that's a pick 'em. I played in that division with them, and that was probably my favorite time in the league so far. I was playing the AFC West with those guys, and when Cool was here. Those games always go back and forth between them, and it's funny because they don't never seem to be close. They play each other a lot. Chiefs is going to be there when it's all said and done, but I have a weird sneaking suspicion that Raiders is pretty motivated. He just missed the playoffs. Yesterday, I know he felt slighted. I think Raiders has got a fire lit under him. I think Raiders is going to pull this one out.
Yeah, it's funny because he actually tagged me after I made that prediction. He's like Gates, I've been beating him like 7 years. What are you talking about? I'm like, have you? I haven't known to know that. So I just based it off consistency, like you said very early on in the show, that Chiefs is consistent. They're always either Super Bowl, AFC Championship, or they're always deep in the same position. So nothing against the Raiders. Hopefully you use this to motivate you and do something. You had a 10-6 record last year, and I think you went to the playoffs, but did you get past the first round? And I don't see him beating his brother. I don't see it.
I think Raiders has got a point to prove. Yeah. I think he's going to be really up for this game. It's going to be close. I think Raiders is going to get the edge of this one.
Okay. Steelers and Seahawks.
I think Bill's going to, he's going to be up for this game and this challenge. And I know he knows his tall order and he's going to be ready to play. But I seen that the meme sent out with Jack Nicholson slapping the plates around after the game. I think he's been real quiet. I think he's looking at this as his redemption tour. He hasn't played no preseason games. I think he's just been seething, and I think he's salivating and ready to roll. And I think he's going to start off the season with this win to show everybody he's back.
That's funny, because he felt some type of way losing that playoff game last year, and I know he's been personally probably cooking up something. He's cooking up something. I'm going with the Seahawks, but I think for the keys to victory for the Steelers to win is stopping the run.
Yes.
You have to stop the run when you play him. You have to stay away from Bobby Wagner.
Yes. I could have said it no better. It's those two things right there.
You have to stay away from Bobby Wagner. I don't care if he's on the right side of the field, look to the left side. Even if it's covered, just stay away from him because his ratings are so high and he's using them, and it doesn't allow for him to make a mistake on defense. The thing that hurts him, though, is he doesn't have Richard Sherman and he doesn't have Earl Thomas no more. So we'll see what these new guys do. I think if me playing them, I'm gonna test these new guys. I might not even run it. I'm gonna test these new guys.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And then we got the NFC Championship game, the rematch.
Woo! That's gonna be a tough one. I'm gonna go with you on this one because I feel like Pia picks and chooses when he wants to play. I don't know that Pie is really geeked up about the first game of the season. I don't know if his interest level is that high in it, so he's just gonna He'll play, but I don't know if he's going to be looking to play with that same intensity he played in the playoffs. And you always play the same way. Like, you're not exactly excited about starting off game one this way. You look at this as a playoff type game. And because I think you're going to be focused in a different manner than Pi, I'm going to give this one to you.
Yes, I mean, I don't know what Pi is going to show up. Like you said, is he going to show up and play? Is he going to be serious? He's going to just throw streaks all game. He's so unpredictable, and I'm not willing to take that chance and think that he's going to take a day off. I'm going to treat it like it's the NFC Championship again. Hopefully, Andrew Luck can make the throws that Matt Ryan made. And that's my only concern this season. And Julio's speed went down to like a 91, so he's still good, but can we still have that same high-powered offense with those adjustments? Taylor Gabriel was good, but he's not Julio. I got some young guys, and they're just not Julio. But I'm not playing with him, or I'm not playing with him like that. So I'm gonna try to come out and win. If he wins, I'd rather him beat me now, week one, than deep in the playoffs.
Exactly.
Yeah. Is there anything else here you want to touch on in this PlayStation? Looking at the rosters, or
No, I think it was a real good, thorough, comprehensive show. I think we touched on everything. We had some game tips. We made some predictions. Solid show, man. Thank you for reigniting this. I've been talking about doing it, but talking about doing it and doing it are two different things. And when I did it, we had a radio-based blog format, and you have a live visual format. So definitely an improvement there. And thank you for taking the onus and initiative to reignite this. It's already got people talking and active in the chat, which is what we all want. So thank you.
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad you wanted to do it and co-host it with me. I appreciate that. I mean, like I said, your show really inspired me to do it, because I remember when we used to have your show, it was just lit a fire in the league. Back when Koofy used to just call in and talk trash, and we were just like going at each other, like, well, let's see this on the field. I wanted that to have that same type of feeling. We need to probably get some NFC guests on here, because I don't want the show to seem like league biased NFC. But again, we're up 2-0, so I'm confident. 2-0 until they win the Super Bowl. It's whatever. It's whatever with that.
You know what? Trust me. I think folks really took to the show you did with WAP. They may enjoy this one. I don't think we'll have an issue getting some guests. We can definitely target an AFC person for next week. I think Doc or somebody had stated maybe we should reach out to Bill or one of the commissions. So I can't see that we won't be able to get Bill or Cletus or Adam or Aaron on. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure we'll have an AFC guest lined up for next week.
Okay, and then real quick, give me your top predictions for top offense, top defense.
Per conference?
No, just top. Give me the top 3 teams for offense, top 3 teams defense.
Ooh. On top offense, I'm gonna go with Paya in Green Bay. Paya can put up points in bunches. He does run a lot of big chunk plays, a lot of high vertical stuff. He's really good on offense, and he'll spam something if it's working. And so 100 yards with him will turn into 300 yards real quick with a receiver. I'm going to go with Paya for top offense. Secondly, I can see possibly you. Your offense is very hard to stop. Don't matter how successful you are against it. It just takes one play. I can see you coming in second again. You have a new quarterback with Luck. Jones is taking a little bit of a hit. I think the league's seen those PA crosses a few times and might try to adjust to it, but I still think you're going to put up your fair share of points. Low-key, a lot of people don't realize how much damage Freeman did on the run game because it wasn't highly publicized, but if you look at his stats, Freeman was good, so you run the rock. So I can see you being second. Third, I either see Cletus or Chiefs Adam. Both of those guys normally have really good offenses and put up a decent amount of points. I think you have a bunch of other people that's right around them, possibly WAP and me. But top 3, I'd say Green Bay, you, and either Jets or Chiefs. Defense-wise, I think Chiefs was number 1 in defense last season. Normally, when you have that formula down, I don't see it changing. I can see him being first again this year. It's going to be hard to put up a lot of points on Boone. for all the reasons you mentioned. He plays real sound. I could see him being there around number 2. 3 on defense. There's just so many good defensive players in the league. I can't name a third, but you always have Doc in that mix. You have Raiders in that mix. You have me in that mix. You have you in that mix. You have the kid Jacksonville in that mix. Texans plays good defense, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So I think there's a bunch of people that it could possibly in 3. What do you got?
I got I was thinking Packers on offense. Chiefs second. If Wap can get it together, him third. I seen him go damn near undefeated in the all Madden league that we're in together. And I was really impressed. I don't know how he's putting up the type of numbers.
On offense or defense?
Offense. So if he can get it together early, especially if he can get past you or makes these adjustments after your game, I see him top 3. Defense, Chiefs, he did have number 1 defense. Doc number 2. You and Cletus number 3. You guys are usually very consistent. It's shocking that Doc always has top 5 D, but doesn't make the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like, he always has top 5 defense. You know what I'm saying? And he doesn't make the playoffs. So,
well, if you think of it, how many times have you honestly seen Doc play a game and get blown out? He's always in the game, and it's because of that D, like you said, and it's his scheme. Because he's been that way with multiple teams. It's that offense, like you said. If he gets that down pat, but think about it, Strong made that jump.
Yeah. He's a different guy. He's a different
right?
Different guy this year. He's a totally different guy. I didn't expect him to go that far in the playoffs. Not saying he wasn't good. I just
Once that light goes on, think about what you said about Boone and his brother. Once that light goes on and you resolve that one issue, that's why I said, well, I tell you what, if Bill, Panthers in Doc, if they can get a handle on that one little issue, they'll be right there every year.
Yeah, I think Panthers have a strong run of winning the division if he can get his receivers. If he can get some good receivers, he needs to make some moves. Sit Jonathan Stewart down. He had a good run. He's done. He still, for some reason, puts him in. Attack. He fumbles every time. I look forward to Jonathan Stewart getting on the field. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, guaranteed fumble for me. But if he can get past that, get some speed on that receiver core, he can make a great run. I mean, because the defense is still solid. Cam is still throwing.
Yeah.
He can make a run. We said that Bill needs to determine, are you building now? Are you trying to win now? Are you trying to build for the future? You build that team around that. Doc, open up your playbook. Boone, I hope you're cooking up something different because we've been talking about how you running all season. You're still gonna run it, but
And that's just it. But that's why he's good. It's like you knew Jordan was getting the ball in the fourth quarter. You know where he was getting the ball, but could you stop it?
It'd be interesting to see what the kid does with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, they have a great young team, so that only helps him. Cletus already picked him to win AFC South. I think you also picked him to win AFC South. It'll be interesting, man. It's gonna be a really good competitive league, I think, this year.
It is. Let's wrap this with a sleeper team from each conference that nobody's looking for that you think can make some noise, either have a winning record, challenge for a playoff spot, or make a playoff.
NFC, I'll take the Bucks. Well, does the Bucks not count because he made the playoffs last year?
Yeah, to me, he's not a sleeper. Like, I put him, he's in that mix already to me. So to me, he's not a sleeper.
Give me Moondog. I'm going Moondog on the NFC.
It's a good one. Let's see here.
Not an actual sleeper team.
I'm going, let's see. NFC, looking at my PlayStation here. He's kind of not a sleeper, but he is because you really haven't heard nothing about him. But then again, it's predicated on whether he's going to play or not. But I think if Sonner plays his fair share of games, I think Sonner is perennially around in playoffs. I go with Sonner and the Rams.
Okay. And then who you got on AFC?
I'm not going to say the kid because to me, he's not a sleeper. It's just, he's back. We know what he can do. It's just him getting his team down pat. You know what? I want to say my boy Chargers. The problem is he's got the Boer brothers in there, and those are going to be dope fights. You know what? I'm going to go with Chargers on the AFC. He's always close.
I'm gonna take the Bengals, man. I'm gonna take the Bengals. The new owner. I think that helps him in a way. I think it really helps
Yeah.
him because nobody's comfortable playing him. Nobody knows what he's gonna do. I'm gonna go with the Bengals. I mean, I would like to pick the Titans. I'm interested to see what the new Titans owner does.
Yes.
I'm also interested to see what the Eagles owner does on the back on the NFC side. But AFC, I'm going with the Bengals. I think that's a sleeper team. I will watch them. And Moondog on the NFC. And it's hard. I'm sorry, you and Wop. I know Wop's gonna hit my phone like I'm gonna beat the Cowboys. You're not gonna let the Cowboys just come take over the NFC East. But I was really impressed with how he played against Cleveland in the preseason. Man, I was really impressed.
So am I. And I heard you say yesterday that you see him giving me and Wop some trouble. And you know what? He's yet to beat me. That being said, I am impressed with what he's doing, and I don't think he's far away, and I don't think he's going to be a gimme. I'll say that. I'll give him his props. I don't think he's going to be a gimme. For me or Washington. Washington might be really good. I know what Wop brings to the table, but I like the moves Cowboys made. The only thing that scares me about Cowboys is Cowboys has a tendency when things don't go his way to kind of crumble under the pressure and the frustration.
Okay.
Playing guys like me and Wop, and it ain't going your way, and you give up halfway through the game. That's not a good look.
I think the division is going to be a dogfight. Regardless, it's going to be a dogfight in the division.
Yeah.
Actually, too, I also want to. I'm interested to see what the Bears do because they got Matt Ryan, and he's new. He's a new guy, right? The Bears owner is new, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that helps, and then it's funny because the Saints owner is texting me saying I'm not giving him his props. I got to put some respect on his name.
He's someone like that.
Yeah, like put some respect on my name. But you gotta win, bro. You gotta beat the Bucks for me. You know what I'm saying? You gotta beat the Bucks twice and you gotta beat the Panthers twice for me to say, yo, okay, I'm looking at you now. Until you do that, it's between us three. It's between us three. And I think the Panthers can beat the Bucks if he figures out his formula. If not, then I still think Bucks are a strong second in my division.
Tell you what, shout out to the Saints. He got me into a funky ass tie. That was my tie last season. The Saints.
Really? I thought that was a sim or something. I didn't know that was a real game.
Man, it was the Saints, and I had that game, and he just kept hanging around, and he played safe, and he didn't do nothing to implode, and he had blocked the kick earlier in the game for me. So when I had the ball in overtime, I could have just kicked the field goal, but I didn't trust kicking a field goal against because he got through and blocked one before. So I tried to force it in the end zone for the win, and he picked it off, and he kneed it out, took that tie, went home, but he showed me something in that game.
Okay. Now who's the Browns division? Who runs that division normally?
Who's in that division? That's the AFC South. That's Jags, Texas. No, the Browns, AFC North. That's Bill. Normally Bill determines that division. So you got Browns, Ravens, Steelers, and Bengals. Bengals, like you said, we don't know what he's going to bring to the table yet. We know Bill is pretty solid. Ravens, I think, is CPU, and Browns is that new owner. Now, I will say this. I seen that new owner play 1 or 2 games because he came at the very tail end of the season. He looked pretty explosive. So I think it's going to come down to maybe him and Bill. I'm not discrediting the Bengals. I just haven't seen enough of his gameplay to know what he's bringing to the table. But I did think that Browns guy was impressive. So I think it's going to be between him and Bill.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know anything about the Browns guy. But yeah, I agree. I can see that happening. All right. Appreciate that, man. So definitely just real quick too, the Jags, the kid actually, Boone Jr. said he would want to join the show. Let me turn this light on real quick. He said he would want to do this show. He would want to be the guest next week, or the next show that we do. He definitely wants to be the guest. So
that'll work.
AFC guest. I know he's gonna try to solidify his playoff spot. He's told me that, and he's back and he's going right to the playoffs. So I don't know how the Bohr brothers feel about that, or how anybody else feels, but he sounds very confident about that. He guarantees himself a playoff spot.
On a side note, when you turn that light on, you know you look like right now Stephen A. Smith.
Oh, stop it, man! Stop it.
When you turn that light on, like young Stephen A. Smith.
Stop it, man. Well, this is our ESPN, so maybe that.
I guess that would make me Ty Kellerman.
There you go. Yo, this is our ESPN right here.
Yeah, man. But again, thanks for having inspiring me to redo the show. Thanks for taking on the initiative. And I think you put out a really good product. It looks really professional and good. I'm sure the owners should like it. It's stirring up some good stuff in the chat. I think we broke down some good stuff. I think the element of smack talk Everybody, well, I'm gonna tell you right now, me and Gates are the same. We keep it real. We like to talk smack and have some fun. Sometimes just to stir things up and get some controversy going and get people fired up. But most of the time, there's definitely no personal. I feel a way about this person, so I'm gonna try to crap on them in the show. We just call it the way we see it.
Yeah, and if you feel differently about it, then the field. Just take it out on the field. Prove what's wrong. If you feel like you should be, like the Saints said, put some respect on our name. Make me win some games and make me. Yo, you really did your thing. I'm sorry. You're in the top player now. That goes for anybody. I remember. It's funny because I remember when you first had your show, and I reached out to you like, yo, I'm not in the top 5. You like, hey, you're not doing like you knew you gotta win. And I still think of that all the time. Like, yo, you gotta say my name now. I'll make sure you have to say my name every time now. Every man that come out, you gotta say my name.
Well, no, and you're right, and you earned it. It's just like me and you. We host the show together, and I'll tell you, hey, man, I don't agree with you. Why you trying to slight me all the time? But it's like you said. I mean, because of that, though, it refocuses me, and that's why I told you, hey, when I came to that playoff game, brother, yeah, I was balling, man. Like there's a lot more on the line in the game, so it's good and healthy if used the right way.
Yeah, definitely. And I appreciate you co-hosting this thing, man. Let's definitely do another one in a couple of days. Let me know your schedule. Let's make it work.
Yeah, man.
Hit me up. Let me know what your schedule's like, and we can make it happen.
All right, brother. Appreciate you as usual. That's off the work.
All right, yeah, man. Go have fun at the job. Gates again, signing out. The Owner's Box.
See ya.
Yeah.
All right.